Hey Richmond, it's your Mayor Danny, and I'm here with Dr. Scott Morris, our Director of our Department of Public Utilities. As you all know, it has been a very eventful year in the world of utilities, starting with the water crisis last January. And we have been hard at work to get the utility, the water treatment plant, the whole utility system resilient, safe, strong, and reliable. And we have Dr. Morris and his team to thank for much of that work. So Scott, thanks for being here. I wanted to ask you a little bit about what have been some of those huge areas of investment and system and process change that you've been leading over the course of the last 8 months.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So we've done a lot, like the mayor is mentioning. Some of those have been around just going through and doing some general condition assessments, looking at what's been done in the past, creating a 10-year CIP per se, looking at what needs to be prioritized first, what needs to be prioritized second. And as part of that, we also went through and did significant investments in the infrastructure to address the items that were made relevant during the January event. One of that being going through and looking at the substation that was on the horizons. We fully integrated the automatic transfer switch, and that substation work is up and going right now. So rest assured, the generator is available in the event that we need it.
Fantastic.
So right now, the water treatment plant has a primary power source, a secondary power source, and then the tertiary power source, the generator backup, in the event that the first two are not available. We've also gone through and looked at the mode of operations. So in a couple of the after-action reports, you saw that winter or summer mode used to try to explain how we operated our switch gears. Primarily what this means is, one had one switch gear in operation versus two, so you always want to keep a redundant system in operation. So we've instituted the elimination of winter mode, so that will never be used again. We're only using the summer mode. That's our default mode of operation. We also looked at the cost of making that decision. We discussed with our energy provider. They've adjusted that rate schedule, so there is no cost ramifications of switching from primary power to secondary power. So regardless of which one we're using, we get the same rate and that's the value to our ratepayers.
Yeah, it's really important. I think thinking about our ratepayers and the implications for people's monthly utility bills has been front of mind in all of these changes. In addition to all of the investments you've made in that system itself, you've also retooled the leadership team and brought a tremendous amount of skill and experience to the team. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think in totality, it's probably over 140 years, which in and of itself is impressive to be able to bring on that wealth of knowledge in a short period of time. We've also looked at the organization as a whole, saw where we needed to make some organizational changes. We're very dynamic in that. We've added on about 5 professional engineers to the team, all in the respective divisions. So we have an engineer in charge of our technical services, and those are the individuals that are looking at all the projects that we're doing. We've added some project management tools for them to gauge how we're fully executing those projects. Been very successful in the last year. Our execution rate for CIP has risen to about 80%, and that's up from about 40%, which again is a testament to the dedication of staff and our ability to execute on the projects that we need to execute. We've also invested heavily in the resources that we need. So procurement staff, we've added that to our team. So that offers up a question for you, Mayor. We have produced a very aggressive and profound CIP plan. What do you see as your priorities associated with making sure that we adhere to those plans?
Well, first, thank you for the work that you put in. I think the thoughtfulness behind the new CIP plan and the fact that that has been done not just with our team, but really in conjunction with our regional partners is really important, right? The fact that the entire region has had the opportunity to look at how we're prioritizing investment, because obviously the system serves not just Richmond, but a good chunk of the region. We also know that more investment is going to, over time, increase rates unless we're able to find other sources for that money. And it's why we have worked really hard to make a case to the General Assembly. So some of the work that we'll be doing as the General Assembly comes to town, and that we've already started to lay the groundwork for, is making sure that our legislators understand the implications for ratepayers here in the Richmond region, because the more money the state can invest in the water system, the more that protects ratepayers in the long run. So not only are we doing that, but we are working with our regional partners to really help make that case and hope that the state can make an investment in this upcoming budget.